Hello beautiful beings, and thank you for joining me. In this video and with this short series that I'm doing, I'd like to address just some exercises, tips and tools that can be of benefit. Very simple things, very easy things. The first one is starting your day. So much in this day and age, we are bombarded as soon as we wake up. People get on their phones, they get on their computers, they're worried about what's happening for the day, and usually the things that aren't working. But if we come from a place of observation and just being, tuning into ourselves to start off with, we get a gauge for not just how we're feeling and where we're at, but also reprogramming and taking charge and control of ourselves. This is a very simple technique where just first thing, as soon as you're aware that you're aware and you're awake, we're actually in that state when you're aware that you're aware of connecting to God's mind, which is your mind. And if you can just tune in with how you're feeling, I call it a check-in. So basically, just check in with how you're feeling. Now you might feel a bit grumpy, or there could be anxiety, there could be worry, there could be energy, there could be enthusiasm, depending on what you've got going on that day that sort of starts to arise. But just notice it's just arising, that thought. It's just there. This means it could be positive, it could be negative thoughts, but just be aware. And just do that for a moment. It could be 20 seconds, 30 seconds, it could be a minute or two. From this place, what I'd recommend doing is talking to God, the universe, creator, whatever you want to term it. Now, what do I mean talking to God? There's many ways that you can go about this. A very simple way you could go about this, if you've got somewhere in your house that's private, if you've got like an altar, somewhere that you do spiritual practices, or getting outside in nature, I would recommend using somewhere that you use on a regular basis for your practices, whether it's for yoga, meditation, clearing exercises, what have you. Because each time you're doing that, you're building a vortex, it's a portal, and the veils get thinner and thinner the more that you're working with that area, and it just builds up and builds up. But the point to all this though is a morning ritual of talking and connecting with God. Something that you could do is get a stick of incense, though it's not needed, light it. Or if not doing that, just be present, get in that space, and just start talking to God from the heart. Something along the lines of, very basic, giving thanks for waking up, for every breath, for every heartbeat, for the things that you have in your life, whether it's a roof over your head, the clothes that you've got, the loving people in your life, the food that you've got. And then going through a process of not only giving thanks for, let's say, people, but sending loving and healing energy to those people. Going through whether it's your partner, your children, your friends, your family, and also just people in your life in general. Wrapping it up with being a vehicle for Source, God, Creator, whatever you want to call it again, to work through you, to bless and assist others, and in so, you accepting the blessings and abundance that comes with that as well. From that point, and you can do that for a couple of minutes, just sit and be present and tune in again, check in again. How do you feel now? Do you feel a bit more energized? Do you feel a bit more focused? Do you feel a bit more balanced emotionally, physically, and mentally, and even spiritually? And that's why the check-in is important, because you can gauge the effect from some things like this by first gauging and assessing and observing how you're feeling, doing a practice, tuning in, checking in again, and there should be a difference. Very simple thing, but starting your day like this can really transform one's life through a type of ritual, you could say that this is, by tuning and connecting with the Creator. So I hope this has been of benefit and blessings, and thank you for joining me.